put me on, man. Put me on. So put me on, man. Put me on. So put me on, man. Put me on. So put me on, man. Put me on. Put me on, man. Put me on. So put me on, man. Put me on.
Playboy fine, do it for the culture. Do it for the culture. Do it for the culture. Do it for the culture.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to What's in the Box. I'm your host, Kathleen Dean, Director of Arts and Theater Performance at the LA Lee YMCA Mizell Community Center. And it is my pleasure to bring you our digital stage performances while we're waiting for our amazing new facility to open. We've taken to the internet and virtual programming with our series, What's in the Box. Today, we have a very special presentation. We are featuring actors, cultural theater, and Americana. So I'd like to invite my guests to turn on your cameras and join me live here on Zoom. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
So I'd like to
Hi.
introduce, we're going to start off with you, Ed,
Okay.
as the leader, founder of Actors Cultural Theater, and a longtime artist in residence, Sistrunk artist in residence. You've been working in our community for many years now, bringing acting and some other fun stuff to the neighborhood. So I'd like you to just tell me a little bit more about you and what you've been doing with Actors Cultural Theater.
Great. Thanks for having me. This is super fun. I appreciate the time here. So just a little bit about myself. I've been an actor since 1998. There was an ad in a newspaper and it said they needed extras for an Eddie Murphy movie. That was The Holy Man. And so I went on to that set and I realized, hey, this is a real job. People really do get paid for doing things like that. So I have been in the business for quite some time, but I knew that there was a missing component that people needed, which was, sure, there's acting classes and there's workshops and things of that nature, but I felt like we needed something more like an actor's gym where actors could work on their craft without having to always be paying some sort of fee or charge for something. So ACT relies on actors who are going to self-start and be dedicated to their craft and improving it. So we did get a grant for the Destination Sistrunk Artist in Residency, and they were very kind enough to grant us some space over at the Dr. Kennedy home, the Baja Writers Room, where we were for 4 years before COVID hit. And unfortunately, we haven't been back there, but it was just that donation of space alone that allowed us to create such short films as Heroes of 6th Street, a short fantasy series we have called Adam Steam, and it allowed us to just practice our craft and to continue putting on other performances at the Megaphone and at the African American Research Library and Center.
Wonderful. So one of your annual events is Americana.
Yes.
And that's what we're featuring today on What's in the Box. So tell us a little bit about Americana.
Well, I do have to mention another related production that we have, which is Let Your Monologue Be Your Resistance. And so it's a series of socially conscious monologues. And so Americana is a little bit more in the opposite direction. It pulls you back towards the center a little bit for a more traditional American stage play experience. So we ask our actors to, and there's no requirement, there's no real specifics, except ideally the scene comes from an American stage play. And that could be any American writer. And this show is meant to coincide also with the 4th of July when people are feeling very patriotic and whatnot. So I thought it'd be a good summer show. So Americana is meant for that audience for sure.
Okay. And somewhere in the country, it's Indian summer right now.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
We're right on time. So I'd like to introduce the actors who are participating in Americana. We have Marcy Prince and her team partner, Amadeo Flaglatori. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us. Yeah,
And
we're
then-
delighted to be here.
Oh, and we are thrilled to have you both.
Thank you.
And then we have Lou Silver.
How you doing? Thank you.
Welcome. So I think let's start with Marcy and Amadeo's scene. I have my co-host Gustavo is backstage. Gustavo, if you could run the scene recorded for Marcy and Amadeo, and then we'll come back on the tail end of that and discuss it. Oh, here we go.
Here they are.
Hi, my name is Amadeo Falciatori,
And I'm his wife, Marcy Prince.
and we're here today to do a scene from The Prisoner of Second Avenue by Neil Simon.
Mel, is that you, Mel?
Yeah. Didn't Mildred come in and clean today?
Not today, Mondays and Thursdays.
What happened here? Why is this place such a mess?
We were robbed.
What do you mean, robbed?
Robbed. They came in. They took things out. We were robbed.
I don't understand. You mean somebody just walked in and robbed us?
What do you think? They called up and made an appointment. They robbed us.
All right. Calm down. Take it easy, Edna. I was just asking a simple question. What happened and what did they get?
I don't know yet. I went out shopping. I was gone only 5 minutes. I came back. I found it like this.
You couldn't have been gone 5 minutes. Look at this place.
I was gone 5 minutes.
5 minutes, huh? Well, we better call the FBI because every crook in New York must have been in here.
Then that's who was here because I was gone only 5 minutes.
All right, when you came back in the building, did you notice anyone suspicious?
Everybody in this building is suspicious looking.
Well, I mean, did you see anybody carrying packages, bundles?
I didn't notice.
What do you mean you didn't notice?
I didn't notice. You think I'm looking for people walking out of my building with my television set?
They took the television? A brand new high-definition television?
Well, what do you think? They're looking for 1948 Philcos? It was here, and they took it out. Oh, I can't catch my breath.
All right. Sit here. I'll go get a drink.
I don't want a drink.
So Marcy and Amadeo.
You bring my
I
camera
want-
back, please? Oh, you're gonna leave? Oh, you're gonna leave me off? That's fine. Leave me off.
Come back. So tell me a little bit about why you chose that particular scene or that play.
Okay, well, we both love Neil Simon. We love all his plays. And we were looking for something for an older couple that we loved this because it was a very real situation with pathos, but at the same time, these characters are so unique in the way that they deal with this because of the nature of their relationship and sort of their excitable personalities. So when we read the script, it really made us laugh out loud. So that's why we picked it.
I had done The Odd Couple several years ago, and then a few years later, I did the show again, playing a different character. So I became familiar with Neil Simon's humor, and it absolutely was captured in this production as well.
And so what was the process like for you to prepare for this scene?
Probably we just lived our normal life.
Yeah, I think there are things that happen in this that any couple can relate to. We certainly related to it as a couple. And, the first thing as an actor is you have to learn your lines and really live them. And then you try to think you're that person and how is that person going to react if this happens to them?
True. And there was also some additional preparation through ACT. Ed, do you want to talk a little bit about how you help the actors prepare?
Absolutely. Well, part of our grant this year for our Act Now program included 5 productions and 5 workshops. So our guest instructor for the workshop was Mark Durso, who worked with the attendees on their scene specifically. And then on this particular project, I also worked with them separately with some direction myself. But a lot of the work was mostly done by the actors themselves with a little bit of input. And maybe the actors could tell you what they thought of the past workshop. Maybe that would be of use.
Sure. Marcy, Amadeo, what did you,
We
how was
got
the workshop for you?
coached by Mark Orso, and we did our scene, and he had some really valuable insights for us. And I think we incorporated that into our performance. We also did our work on Zoom with the other members of ACT, and they exchanged feedback, and that was very helpful. So I think for actors, I think there's a couple things. One, Zoom itself, because you can see yourself as you're doing the work or see a playback like this, feedback is just fantastic. You can see yourself and then see what needs to be bigger, what needs to be smaller, like that.
Amadeo, did you have any thoughts on that?
And I think this past couple of years have been valuable in being able to incorporate the Zoom performance. Prior to this, anything that we've done together, or me individually or her individually, have all been live or on theater, on stage, except for commercials and film things, and then you only get to see it after it's a completed project. So having that instant feedback to see what you're doing and the expressions and the things you're doing, it's valuable because you can fix it. Plus, we've become more Zoom oriented in the past year or two, and that's become valuable too for today's environment.
I'm so glad that the two of you are embracing Zoom. I know a lot of us have Zoom fatigue, but I'm glad to hear that it's working for you. So thank you for that. I'd like to go to Lou's scene. Lou's scene partner, Jordan Patriarca, couldn't be with us today, but we'll get to see her and Lou perform their scene. So Gustavo, if you could just roll Lou's scene.
Hello, my name is Jordan Patriarca,
And I'm Lou Silver
and we will be doing a scene from Chapter 2.
by Neil Simon,
I'm Jenny Malone.
and I'm George Schneider.
Fight for me, because I'm fighting like hell for you. I think we're both worth it. I do, however, have one fault. One glaring, major, monumental fault. Sometimes I don't know when to stop talking. And for that, I apologize, George. I'm sorry. I am now through.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad you're on my side. Listen, Jenny, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty certain you're probably the healthiest person I've ever met.
Funny, I don't look it.
You know I'm crazy about you, right? You know that.
I know that.
No, you don't know that I am absolutely crazy nuts for you.
No, you're right. I didn't know that.
You know, there's nothing about you that I would want to change at all. I want this part, the bad part, to be over. I want to take you in my arms and say, okay, that's finished, what's for dinner? I can't. Because I am stuck here in my mind and I'm going crazy. And something keeps me here, stuck right at this spot, like that stupid leather chair.
I can rearrange the furniture.
Please don't make it so easy for me. I am fighting like hell to hold on to my self-pity, and I had to find the most understanding woman in the world.
I'm not so understanding.
Yes, you are. You said it yourself. You're flawless. You're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. Let me go to Los Angeles. Let me go there and get unstuck. I'll be staying at the Chateau Marmont Hotel. I'll be in my room, unsticking like crazy.
Couldn't I come with you? I won't bother you. I would just watch.
And then the people next door would watch. And then pretty soon we'd have a crowd, right? Listen, you just take care of yourself.
If you don't call me, can I call you?
That was a nice way to end it.
Beautiful, beautiful scene.
It was nice. It was really, it was amazing to be in the studio while we recorded that scene. Lou, that's your first time seeing it. Tell me about what you thought and why you chose that particular play.
Well, like everybody else, I'm a big Neil Simon fan. I've seen that movie 100 times. And I just, I always loved that script. So I called Jordan and asked her if she wanted to do it, and she was up for it. We had we picked a scene there's a lot of tension in that scene. You really didn't see all of it, but it's a very tense scene. They're not getting along at all.
Mhm. And there's a beautiful arc when I watched you two perform it. And all of these performances will be available. Ed will make them available in their entirety after the show. So there's an arc, it's not just tension all the way through. It sort of builds and ebbs and flows. So talk to me a little bit about how your process as an actor, to hit those beats and bring out the nuances of the performance. So it's just not one speed all the way through.
Right. So it's not flat.
Yes.
Well, I think you have to really know the story. You can't just read the scene. You have to read the whole play. I think a lot of people just read the dialogue of the scene that they're doing. They don't read what's happening before and after. And Ed was very helpful coaching.
Thank you.
Through that process. I will give him that. He gave us a lot of things that we didn't see.
Mhm.
But you have to know the backstory to go into the scene, because every line means something different.
And that's so true. And it's part of, acting is work. It takes, I believe the studying never ends, right? You're constantly
That's right.
sharpening your tool as professional actors. Um, so thank you for.
I'd just like to add
Thank
too that Lou and Jordan came to us via Sarah Rogers, an acting teacher who works at the Arts Serve, and so she was kind enough to pass on the information about this production to them. And so I appreciate them for joining. It's the first time I've worked with Lou, and I think he really has a good potential for some film acting with some good close-ups because of his intensity and his subtle intensity, if you will.
Thanks.
Jordan, of course, I've seen perform at Sarah's class.
He's great.
And she's always been super fun and super interesting. So
Wonderful. And I think it's really great that the community is collaborating and we're working together. So good to hear that. And I can't wait till you all come to the Victory Black Box Theater and we put on a performance there.
oh, can't wait to be live and just do these shows for real. I personally, as a director and as someone who coaches dialogue, I'm done with the Zoom. Just done. I really want to start working. And so hopefully ACT this year will be working on a lot of film projects, including the 48-hour film project.
Oh, yes, which is coming up very soon. Our registration is still open for those who want to be a part of that project.
But you bring up a great point about collaboration, because here we have ACT, we have Sarah Rogers people, we have Mark Durso, we have yourself and the Victory Black Box Theater. So yeah, it is coming together, and hopefully I'm fulfilling my role as ambassador of the arts. Correct?
I think so. I think you're doing a great job. So let's check out your role as actor.
Oh yeah, let's see how that goes. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot I was even getting shown today.
You
I would have been more
absolutely
nervous.
are. So Gustavo, if you could roll Ed's scene.
I've been to the zoo. Said I've been to the zoo. Mister, I've been to the zoo.
What? I'm sorry. Are you talking to me?
I went to the zoo, and I've been walking north until I came here. Have I been walking north?
Why, let me see.
Is that Fifth Avenue over there?
Why, yes, it is.
What's that cross street over there on the right?
That? Oh, that's 74th Street.
The zoo's on 65th Street, so I've been walking north.
Yes.
Good old north.
Yeah.
But not due north.
No, not due north. We call it north. It's northerly.
Well, boy, you ain't gonna get lung cancer, are you?
No, sir, not from this.
No, sir. What you'll probably get is cancer of the mouth. And you have to wear one of those things Freud wore, and they took the whole side of his jaw away. What do they call those things?
A prosthesis?
The very thing. Prosthesis. You're an educated man, aren't you?
Why?
You a doctor?
No, I read it somewhere. In Time Magazine, I think.
Time Magazine ain't for blockheads.
I suppose not.
Boy, I am glad that's Fifth Avenue there. I don't like the west side of the park too much.
Oh? Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Mind if we talk?
Well, why no? No.
Yes, you do. You do.
No, not at all. I really.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't mind, really.
It's a lovely day.
Why, yes. Yes, it is. Lovely.
Been to the zoo.
I think you said that. Didn't you?
I bet you got a TV at home, huh?
Yes, two. One for the children.
You're married.
Why, certainly.
It's not law, for God's sake.
Well, I know. Of course not.
You have a wife.
Yes.
You have children.
Yes.
Boys?
No, girls. Both girls.
But you wanted boys.
Why, naturally, every man wants a son, but...
But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I wasn't going to say that.
You're not going to have any more kids, are you?
No, no more. How would you know that? Why would you say that?
You cross your legs, perhaps? Something in the voice? I don't know. Maybe I'm just guessing. Is it your wife?
It's none of your business. Do you understand? But you're right. I'll have no more children.
Well, that's a weird character.
Ed, so tell us a little bit about why you chose that particular.
Well, to be honest, I left the challenge up to the my scene partner, and so Ken, who lives in Jupiter, so he couldn't make it today. Joke. I left it up to him, so he chose the scene, and I also let him choose the characters. I was surprised that he gave me the quirky over the top character. I was willing to do the subtle one, but the quirky character, of course, is fun. I'm reminded how hot it was that day, by the way.
So I've enjoyed, working with you, and partnering with you to bring Americana to our community. I think there's some real benefits to studying acting and performing outside of just, bringing joy and entertainment to people. Can you just talk a little bit about, what you guys think is important about acting?
Yeah, sure. Let me start that off. Well, for one, especially with Actors Cultural Theater, we're not just doing things to entertain. We believe in education through entertainment. So we are not only self-training ourselves by experiencing Neil Simon or Shakespeare, um, but but we're also examining that deep literature that is involved with that, so people can see that Shakespeare is approachable, can see that Shakespeare is understandable. The other thing I think that's really important is with the arts in general, I think the arts in general foster empathy towards other people and an understanding of other cultures. So, is empathy something that you can could build upon? I think so. In fact, with my acting style and strategy, I do believe in empathy in action. How do you teach empathy, though? You have to be, again, aware of other people and read books, go to museums, talk with other people that you might not normally talk to, and get to know the personal backstory of the people you meet.
Wonderful, thank you. So here on What's in the Box, I always like to end the program by asking our guests, what's in your box? What are the tools, tips, or techniques that help you live your best life as an artist? Let's start with Lou. Lou, what's in your box?
Wow. I think I just pull from life experience. That's it. A dear friend of mine who was an actor explained to me, he was a famous actor, and he said, regardless of the part, let's pretend you were a heart surgeon or you were a state senator. You're going to be the same person. You're you. So just pull from life experiences, and it's got to be authentic and natural. Don't try to be someone else.
Mm,
So you are being someone else, but you're not. You're living in the moment as if it was your real life in that scene.
wonderful. So authenticity, be yourself.
Yeah.
Marcy and Amadeo, what's in your box? What helps you live your best life as an artist?
I like what Lou said a lot. I think you really need to love what you're doing. I think you do pull on your own life experience, and you also have to think about that character and think about what it would be like to be them in that situation. You need to stretch beyond what you think you can do. Like one of the things we do is we're with an acting group, and we often are doing cold readings, and we have to like come up with accents and really stretch with things that like I may not think I could ever do that, but then when I'm in the situation and I challenge myself, I reach for it. So find a safe place, a safe group to work with, and practice and go for it. But you have to put in the work. You can't.
Yeah. Very true.
You have to. If you're going to do this, it is a craft, and you really have to be responsible. And you have to study your lines, and you've got to work at it.
Wonderful. Amadeo, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, only that I've drawn on all my life experiences. I started out really with music. My degree was in music. I was an opera singer. I did that professionally, although I held a regular full-time job in addition. And that career started to come to an end, then I started to go into full-time into acting, which is related. And I pulled on those experiences, not to mention all the different kinds of work and jobs I've had in my life. I've been a meat cutter, a paper boy, a mechanic. I had to be an electrician, a washing machine repairman. I owned the laundromat for 7 years. All of those things come into play and help you create the characters that you need and pull on the background that you need to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. I just want to take a minute to acknowledge all of the people who've joined us on Zoom. We're also live streaming on Facebook, so hello everyone on Facebook. Eric Swain, Maja Nile, Betty Torres, Tawana Dummin, and who else is on here? Clevelander Wright. So thank you all for joining us on Zoom. We appreciate your comments and you taking time this Wednesday afternoon to share your lunch break with us. We're going to wrap up now. So Marcy, Amadeo, Lou, and Ed, thank you all so much for bringing your talents to the digital stage here at the Victory Black Box Theater. I'm looking forward to more collaborations coming down the line and to seeing what else you guys do independently. It's been a real pleasure and a learning experience. So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And Gustavo, if you could roll us out. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's program. We can't do the work we do without your support. The YMCA is a not-for-profit organization, and we would appreciate your donations to help support the work we plan to do in arts education, film, and other programs as they relate to the Victory Black Box Theater. Please visit our website, ymcasouthflorida.org, for more information on future shows. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Victory BBT YMCA.